Right, this is a quick walk around video for what is quite a rare car. This is a Honda Accord 2.4 EX automatic, 2006 facelift model, as you can see here. This car has got a fully warranted 38,846 miles on the clock. Serviced 12 times by the same Honda dealer throughout its life. Has been fitted with brand new alloys, not by me, by the last owner, because I've got the old alloys that came with the car, which had a tiniest bit of curbing on, so goodness knows why he decided to invest in new wheels and tyres. We've got a brand new set of Dunlops, or just hardly used. Side protection mouldings on the doors, on the front bumper, which weren't standard. It's also fitted with sat-nav and the hands-free telephone system. It's also got the upgraded automatic cruise control and lane departure system. So this is a mega spec car. The private plate X7JHF comes with the vehicle at no additional cost whatsoever. I'm going to enjoy this video. I'll go around it for you and just try and pick up on any sort of minor blemishes I possibly can. So come around to the front of the car here. You'll hear the fan cutting in and out where the engine's been running for a while, and that is obviously quite normal. The front of the vehicle exhibits hardly a blemish at all, just as the sun comes out to ruin my fun. But I'll just go over the bonnet. There's one or two, you can just see them, just a couple of tiny little stone chips which you're going to get on any car. They've been touched in by the last owner, so well protected. But even a car like this with such low mileage, you always will get the odd tiniest little mark. But I'm going to be very critical on this. Coming down the side there, absolutely no indentations at all on the panel work. It's not just clean, it's crisp and completely original and genuine. You can see there, front alloy, brand new, completely unmarked, and as I said, the tyres all but new as well. Panel work, absolutely blemish free down this near side. I cannot see a single mark on it. Come to the rear alloy again, brand new, so nothing to report on that. And again, Dunlop tyre, only slightly used. And again, just come down this side again, just to show you just how clean and crisp that car is. It's, you know, it's like looking at a new car. It really is down the side of that vehicle. Coming around the back here, again, all really nice. I did see, although they're very hard to spot, there were a couple of tiny little touch-ins done by the last owner. Nothing that detract from the car, so don't think there is. I'm trying to find them, but for love and money I can't see them again now, which is always the way. I think there might be one just on top of the, just there. There we are, managed to find it. Offside of the vehicle, again, absolutely mirror smooth. Rear wing again, perfect. Rear alloy again, brand new, and then Dunlop tyres with the others. I'll just do it this way so the sun doesn't affect the camera work. But it really is an astonishing car. And just final alloy again, just to show you. Obviously completely unmarked, but we are looking there at possibly one of the cleanest, if not the cleanest, Accord of this generation you're ever likely to see, which will either go for continued daily use or into a private collection for modern classics. Coming into the boot area, and bear in mind I've not even cleaned in here, so it just gives you some idea of just how clean it is. Even the original pack there, which the owner had with the car, really lovely sign. We got this boot liner in here, which obviously means that the carpeted area underneath is literally as new. So I can get my hand out of the way and pop that up. You can see all the tools, everything's completely unused in there, and it just looks like pretty much like new, in all honesty. Coming to the back of the car now, door card again, completely unmarked. Back of the seats, again, absolutely mark free. So the video really doesn't do this justice, in all honesty, but it's here just to show you. Door card on that side again, unmarked. It genuinely, easy to say, but it doesn't look like it's really been satin in the back. It's in such beautiful condition. Footwell areas, again, full set of original Accord over mats. Even the carpeted areas here, You know, they're not just clean, and it literally has been given the lightest hoover. It didn't need anything at all. It is a remarkable car. So coming to the front of the car now, driver's door card again, absolutely unmarked. Even around the switches there's no finger marks or otherwise. Coming into the footwell area, again, even the overmat there, which was protected by a mat over the top of it, by the way, when it came to us, is as new. Driver's seat in beautiful, beautiful condition. Totally belies the age of the car. And then across to the passenger seat at the front there, again, just looks like a new seat in all honesty. If I just go up there, obviously EX spec, comes with the electric sunroof, so you can just tilt it up or slide it back. It's all working absolutely perfectly. Oops, pardon me. So inside the car now, engine's running as it has been all the way through. It is as close to new condition as you'll ever see on a used car. In absolute, so I'll just pull the blind across to take this shine off the sat nav there, but you can see fully functional, of course. But what this video doesn't really just show is just how original and pristine the interior actually is on this car. It really is stunning. Seat, everything works. Air conditioning's pumping out lovely cold air. Heated seats work perfectly on the vehicle. Obviously a little cubby hole area down there as well for cups. But every surface, absolutely everything on it in wonderful, wonderful condition. And just come across to the steering wheel, and here you can see you've got auto lights on the left there, stereo control buttons there for controlling, hands-free functions for Bluetooth for compatible phones. And there you can see that's for the automatic cruise control and lane mitigation system, all working absolutely perfectly, and the main controls there for that as well. Auto wipers on the vehicle, and just to pan into the dashboard, 38,846 miles, and there's no warning lights. The only warning light on there you can see is for low fuel, but it is absolutely stunning. It really, really is like a time warp, this car. Anyone, whoever is lucky enough to buy it, and I am sorely tempted myself, I really am, will benefit from a wonderful, wonderful car. Just to show also, obviously original lock and wheel nut set with the car and the full owner's manual pack, and inside there we've got the navigation system and the main owner's manual for the car as well. So quickly coming to the service history, which is absolutely astonishing. It's all done by the same Honda dealer, which is Starton Honda of Bromyard Road in Worcester. As you can see there, we've got services at 2,300. Sorry, to get that right. So 8,200 miles, get there in the end. 18,000 miles, 23,000 miles, 26,000 miles, 31,000 miles, 33,000 miles, 34,000 miles, 34,000 miles again, 34,000 miles again, and 37,000 miles. It is quite astonishing. So finally just come under the engine bay. Just to point out, the engines always sound much noisier than they do when you're actually stood here. As you can hear the fan cutting in and out quite rightly. Beautifully presented, looks as though it's just come fresh out of a showroom. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful engine. Cam chain driven, no cam belts to worry about. Just the most wonderful 4-cylinder engine you'll ever drive, probably. What will follow now rather will be a road test of this very car, in which I'll talk in more detail about the engine itself. Right, this is a road test video for a Honda Accord 2.4 EX automatic. This particular car is on a private plate, which is X7JHF, registered 2006, and the car has covered 38,835 miles. Quite an extraordinary car, as you can probably see, but just to give you a brief background to a couple of things. First of all, the reason we do the road tests is very simple. We want customers to see the cars prior to coming to see us. That way, if there's any issues with the vehicle, we can relay those back to you immediately, and we do that. And because basically we're now selling to customers from much further afield, all over the near continent, certainly the whole of the UK, and we feel as if people are willing to make the effort to come and see us, the least we can do is to show you the car in operation prior, or make you aware of any issues. Worth pointing out that the road tests are done on the same roads very close to our business, so it should be wholly representative of what you should feel yourself when you come and see and drive the car. So obviously, as you probably know from the adverts of the car, I mean, we're talking about an extraordinarily low mileage car. It's very, very, very rare to find cars like this. This was probably, I'm guessing, I could be proved wrong, I'd imagine would be a Honda demonstrator for the Honda accessories parts bin, so packed is it with equipment. You know, obviously it's got the sat nav, which was an option on the car, but it's got the side mouldings on the doors, it's got the auto cruise control, not just the standard cruise control, which they were kind of showboating at the time, or showcasing, rather showcasing. And you know, it's fitted to this car, all works beautifully, but I'll show that in operation as well. But just, you know, with the mileage of the car, you know, quite an extraordinary vehicle. It really, really is. Just to go through the major mechanical parts of the car, just to show, you know, explain one or two of those to you. Engine starts, as you'd imagine, with such low mileage, absolutely instantly. No warning lights on the dashboard, apart from a low fuel light currently, relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Engine clearly just isn't even running yet. It's, you know, these are one of the very best engines ever made. It's a 4-cylinder, yet it shares all the attributes of a 6-cylinder. It's so smooth, virtually vibration free, pulls like an absolute train from low revs all the way through to high revs, and it really, really is a wonderful, wonderful unit. Cam chain driven, of course, so there's no cam belts on these cars, and they have a reputation for unbelievable longevity and reliability. I mean, we have had them back with well over 200,000 miles, sounding as sweet as this. They really are extraordinary engines. Engine feeds through into the gearbox, which is a typically Honda gearbox, automatic gearbox. Very smooth in operation, got a beautifully engineered feel to it. I don't want to tempt fate, but we've never ever touched one. They're very, very tough indeed, but it matches the engine beautifully. As I say in all the videos for the 2.4s, and certainly in the adverts, that, you know, the reason I rate these so much better than the 2-litre is that the 2-litre was brought out really for tax reasons, also for perceived miles per gallon, as we know that, you know, government fuel economy tests are horrendously flawed, because they're just kind of laboratory static tests, and they don't lead you into the real world of driving cars. What this car gives you in real world driving is at least the same fuel economy as the 2-litre, if not more, and in my experiences more, but that's down to kind of how you drive the car. The other thing which, you know, what people forget is you're not working the engine as hard in a 2.4. It's a much torquier engine than 2-litre. You're not having to go up and down the gearbox as much, so you're not putting as much strain to the gearboxes of the car, and it's just so much more relaxing to drive than the 2-litre version. And it's not to put the 2-litre version down at all. They're very, very, very fine cars, lovely engines, lovely gearboxes, but they're just not as nice to drive as these. It's as simple as that. And when you put your foot down on these, they absolutely fly. It's such a sweet unit as well, and it's not all about the top end, which is what Honda VTECs are noted for. I mean, this is, you know, from low down all the way through the rev range, absolutely superb. If you can hear a pinging noise every now and again, it's got one of these really annoying options to set a little chime for 50 miles an hour or 30 miles an hour, and whoever had the car before has set it, so I will immediately disable it because it really gets my nerves. But that's the pinging noise you can hear. But anyway, engine, gearbox, honestly, absolutely spot on. They are lovely, lovely things to drive behind. And in a world of, you know, small capacity turbo engines now, it's such a breath of fresh air to drive something with a lovely linear power delivery with genuine character to it as well. Car tracks, bullet straight, no vibrations coming back through the steering. Worth pointing out, this is just, I mean, again, you know, with the car came on a brand new set of Honda alloys and tyres. The gentleman, the old alloys had a tiny bit of corrosion and curbing, and so they fitted a brand new set. So they are brand spanking new, so hence you wouldn't expect any vibrations or tracking issues, and there are none. And obviously running on a full set of Dunlops, they're very quiet tyres actually. Very good brand. You're talking, there's well over £1,000 worth of stuff just fitted to the car prior to the car being sold here. Cruise control, I just set that, works absolutely perfectly. Because it's got the radar system, you don't just set it and then panic when you close up to a car in front. At the moment, I've set it to, I'll set it deliberately too quick, to 56 miles an hour, and what it's doing is it's got a radar between me and the car in front, and it's maintaining the gap to it. It's such a clever system, it really is, and all working absolutely beautifully. Brakes on the car, lovely solid brake pedal, it really is. Hit the brakes, there's no vibrations, no pulsing through the brake pedal at all in really, really fine order. Looking inside the car, it's just in absolutely stunning condition, as you'd clearly expect with the mileage of the vehicle. As I said, you've got the big screen sat-nav system on the car. Whoever had the car previously has put a much later disc into the car. The disc's only a couple of years old now, I think. So has obviously invested in one of the later discs for the car. Heated seats, air conditioning, all working absolutely perfectly. I checked it with the air conditioning, pumps out lovely ice cold air. Seats, you've got two settings, hot and low, high and low rather. And as I said, they all work exactly as they should. In fact, there's nothing on the car that I've pressed hasn't worked as intended, which again, given the the type of car it is, the manufacturer, that's pretty much what you'd expect. Just going to swing around here because it's a pretty good point to do so. But the quality of the interior is absolutely fabulous. It's not a hint of a squeak or a rattle, of course, for being a Honda. So much guts to it, really has. This is one of my favourite Hondas, and I'll tell you why. It's because it encompasses everything Honda's good at. It's got a great engine, great gearbox, brilliant steering, superb chassis. It's not chasing 3 Series BMW, it's not trying to be a race car, it's not as insipid as some other vehicles of its type, A4, Passat, Avensis, which loll up about. This has got sharp, accurate steering, but a wonderfully compliant ride. I did a video this morning of a 10-plate Mondeo, which is a brilliant car. And I've always rated their chassis as absolutely fantastic. This, I have to say, I prefer. Its ride is just sensationally comfortable, but when you pitch it into corners, it's got an accuracy that genuinely you'd expect with a much harder riding car. Its composure through corners like this, the legal limit, so I'm not allowed to go any faster. It doesn't flounder, it doesn't pitch, it doesn't wallow, which is what you normally get when you get a comfortable ride. But the steering is lovely and old school. This is proper power steering. Electric power steering is very good, but it's pretty much devoid of feel, albeit accurate. This has genuine feel, genuine weight to it. When you go through the corners, you can feel it weight up. It reminds me so much of so many of the more exotic Hondas. It's probably why they don't make them anymore. They're probably too damned expensive to make. It's just a wonderful piece of engineering. It just doesn't even, it's amazing. You just turn to a corner and it just holds its line. They really are a wonderful, wonderful beast of a car. And of course will become rarer as we're forced to go lower and smaller capacity engines, and all the horrendous problems that are now manifesting themselves, which I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. They're just too complicated. These are simple mechanical cars But it's a wonderful car, it really is. I mean, the purpose of the video, of course, is to pick up any issues or problems that there might be on the car. There are none. There are absolutely none, and it's not that I wouldn't tell you, because if there was, I'd be the first to say about it. But looking around inside the car, every button and pressed, as I said, has worked beautifully. It drives beautifully. I cannot detect an ounce of wear in the car at all. And sometimes even low mileage cars, you know, especially, you know, we look at the car, what's now 10, 11 years old, it might have a few little clonks and bangs on the suspension. There's nothing. You hear it going over the bumps like that, but there's none of those horrible secondary noises you sometimes get with cars, which, you know, can be really annoying and just make a car feel old. This doesn't, really doesn't. I'm going to be honest, I've got a collection of Hondas, and I've got a feeling that this one may not stay on our stock list long. I've got a real hankering to buy this car. It does depend on me selling my other one over the next week or so, but that may well be on the cards. I love this car. I absolutely love this car. I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to be, you know, we had to pay very good money for it, and rightly so. You know, this is, you know, you pay for what you get in life. If you want to spend over the odds, well over book price for the car, then feel free to do so. If you want to pay book price for one and buy something that's, you know, mediocre, average mileage, which would be 100,000 miles at this age, you know, certainly, I mean, this car's got 10 Honda service stamps all the way through its life, and this would fit very nicely with my other cars, to be honest with you. So this may be a pointless video, because I may well buy this one, and I did this once before and I did buy it. So if nothing else, I proved to myself I want to buy it. So but clearly, if there's any questions, and I'm rambling on because I'm suddenly got really sidetracked with that thought, do give us a call and I'll happily answer any questions you might have.